Well, in a rare move, Congress has used its power over the District of Columbia to block a law tied to the city's tax policy. So that means the city would not be able to exclude itself from some tax breaks in President Trump's funding bill passed last year. D.C. leaders say the move could cost them roughly $600 million in revenue. But that's not the only impact here. Joining us now is Corey Husak with the Center for American Progress. Corey, thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And first, for the moment, we'll put politics of this aside. The headline from the district has been the loss in revenue, but talk about some of the other big impacts this could have.
Yeah, this throws the DC filing season into chaos. We are mid-filing right now, and anyone who has already filed their taxes may have to file again after DC shuts down tax filing and then, issues new forms and new rules to comply with what Congress just did. So, hang on to your refund, especially if you got a child tax credit from DC or an earned income tax credit this year from DC. The federal government might force you to give that back.
Okay, so if you've already received anything, don't go spend it. Hang on to it, keep all your documents ready, and prepare to possibly go through this process all over again. Corey, now some residents feel this move maybe isn't necessarily all bad. Are there any ways some people could benefit personally from this?
Sure, there's more tax cuts on net in this than tax increases. So businesses especially will, pay less taxes because of what the Senate voted to do yesterday. And, that's one of the reasons why, DC didn't want to do this, because Congress passed this law on and added to the national debt. DC doesn't have the ability to add to the debt. They have to balance their budget every year, and it remains unseen how they'll balance that 600 million hole.
Okay, so still waiting on a big answer there. Now, as for back to the politics, now there's a question of whether Congress acted in time with their 30-day review period. Talk to us about the questions that remain and what could we see happen from this point on, Corey?
Right. Chairman Mendelson of the DC Council says that Congress didn't pass this in time. There's 30 business days from when a law is transmitted from DC to Congress for Congress to overturn it. And he says they missed the mark by just one day. This might be something that the courts will have to figure out. It's certainly something the DC CFO will figure out in deciding whether to cancel filing season right away or not. So, this is a big question mark hanging out there in the air, and it really shows how confusing this time is for all DC residents.
Yeah, you talk about that confusion there for the people, the everyday people in the mix here. You mentioned holding on to any returns, keeping everything handy. Just your final message, I guess, to residents of the district who are kind of in the middle of this and waiting on some of these big unanswered questions.
We do kind of have to wait and see. Some people, might come out on top because of these changes. Some people will lose out. And, it remains to be seen how the DC district will, deal with these cuts to its budget. Maryland, Virginia folks, do not have the deductions for tips and overtime like Congress just forced DC to enact. But folks in DC, might win out if they're counting on those on their DC tax returns as well.
Okay, Corey Husak with the Center for American Progress. Thank you so much for joining us with that update and helping us kind of decipher what's going on here for everyday people. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
All right.